Hey,
Hey,
hey, Alan, how's it going?
good, good. Yeah, I'm just testing the gear.
Cool, cool. Yeah, same here. Likewise. Actually, we had
Mm,
a change of plan. Albin, he was supposed to be the host, but thing is that he has travel plans, so I'm just filling in. So I'll try my best. I'll try my best to
yeah.
try to host, and I'll let you guys do
Definitely.
the talking. So that's a good thing. So yeah, that's cool. Hey, my name is just officially say, hey, my name is Marco Chante. I'm the podcast lead for XT.com. Great to meet you, Alan.
Yeah. My name is Alan. I'm the CEO of Secure Street. Frank introduced us to this event.
Oh, sweet, Frank. Okay, yeah. I guess you guys met each other at maybe what, San Francisco, LA,
Yeah,
somewhere.
offline in Bay
Uh,
Area.
Bay Area. Okay, gotcha. All right, okay. So I'm
Well,
assuming that you're in the Bay Area as well.
yeah. I'm based in Bay Area, but today I'm traveling in Singapore for the
Oh, for
token.
the Token 2049. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Cool. Cool.
so many people here.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of folks in Singapore, but and then like in the next couple of days, like tomorrow onwards, I'm here. I'm based in Dubai, so I mean we got a lot of events happening. It's
Yeah.
getting really crazy. So so this month and maybe November, I'm just telling my loved ones I'll see you guys after November or something. So bye bye. See you see you after a month.
Great. Yeah, I heard that there's so many people like after Singapore, a lot of people are going to Dubai.
Yeah, there's a lot of events happening. So I know it's. Uh, the definitely
Great.
going to be interesting for me. So got some. We also got our fourth anniversary VIP party going on, so that's happening on Thursday. It's a special invite only, so it's a quite
Yeah, I
fancy of
heard.
us.
Yeah, I heard there's so many events.
Yeah. Now I'm glad it's just happening in like in a short period, right? Because otherwise, being in the business, you're attending quite a number of road shows and like a lot of speaking gigs, and I guess for your company, I'm sure you might be pitching and I don't know, meeting different
Yes,
VCs.
yes, exactly.
All right, man. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So at least, yeah. Okay. I think audio wise, I think we're going to be good. So I'm going to take you off the stream, and I'll just play
Mhm.
our usual XT videos.
Sure,
And 6 o'clock, we'll just get the party started.
sure. Yes.
Awesome. All right. Cool. See you soon.
hard, get dough. I can't get no sleep, please make my life more simple. Miles inside these shoes so I don't stomp, I tiptoe. Fell 1,000 times and still I roll no limp though. But I wouldn't trade a thing for what I have. I go hard, do what I need to make it last. They say the good die young, I hope I'm bad. Cheers to my past, I'm doing great now, just in case they ask. In the booth and I lay it down, I might take a nap. And they thought I was playing around, now it's up like my tax. Living fast, over limit on the freeway, hope no cops pass. Had to dip up for a minute, yeah that's my bad. But I can't stay for too long, I gotta go. I grab my bag and hit the dash, yeah adios. I drop the clutch and slam the gas, and it's vamonos. If you're not first and you're in last, Ricky Bobby quote, you gotta know. Work hard, get dough. I can't get no sleep, please make my life more simple. Miles inside these shoes so I don't stomp, I tiptoe. Fell 1,000 times and still I roll no limp though. But I wouldn't trade a thing for what I have. I go hard, do what I need to make it last. They say the good die young, I hope I'm bad. They say the good die young, I hope I'm bad. Work hard, get dough. I can't get no sleep, please make my life more simple. Miles inside these shoes so I don't stomp, I tiptoe. Fell 1,000 times and still I roll no limp though. But I wouldn't trade a thing for what
All right, all right, all right. All right, let's do a mic check. 1, 2, 3. Oh, hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, okay. All right, I think we might have one more person. We'll just wait maybe like another minute for Eric. All right, how's everyone doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, so far so good. Just here in sunny side Dubai, and it's evening, but you know, Dubai is sunny as always.
7:00 here. 7:00 a.m. here in Los Angeles.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's
So
fantastic.
bright and early.
Yeah, look at you. Superstar right here. I know Alan, he's in the Bay Area, San Francisco. What about you, Jules? Where you at?
I'm in Paris. Like it's
Paris?
4 p.m. here.
All right, okay. Not bad, not bad. And Miriam, how about you? Where you at?
I was in San Francisco as if I'd say 10 hours ago, but I just got off my flight back to Hartford, Connecticut. So, yeah, I'm at the airport right
Wow.
now.
Oh, wow. Hey, you know what? More points to you. Wow, at the airport. Wow, that's no.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Of course, I was committed to make it to the
Also,
conference.
yeah. No, I'm glad. Yeah, I just want to give you a heads up. Not actually, Albin. He's on a flight on his way to Dubai, but he couldn't make it, so I'm just replacing him. So I'll let you all do the talking. You know, share your insights and you know what's happening in the education space with blockchain. So we'll just wait for one more minute for Eric. If not, I think we'll just get this party started. Sounds good.
Sounds great.
All right. All right. All right, cool. All right, guys. I think we'll just go right ahead. But before I start, I'll just kind of give you just the format of this AMA. So basically, I'm just going to give an introduction about XT and a little about myself, and then ask you guys to present yourself to the XT family. You know what you guys are doing and how you guys got into the space, and maybe also give an insight about the clubs that you guys are part of. And we have some questions, you know, regarding adoption, the market, innovation, and maybe an entrepreneurial question. And then finally, we'll finish off the AMA with a live Q&A session from our XT.com audience. And after that, we will be done. So that's the format. So let me see, I think. All right, cool. All right, I think I got to go ahead. So, all right. This is your host for the most of the time. I'm Marco Sinhita here at XT.com. I'm here in sunny side Dubai, and we have some guests all over the world. And today we're going to talk about blockchain in the higher education space. So it's all about your brain on blockchain. So before I get this party started, I just want to thank our guests for taking the time you know, to come on the show and share their insights and also educate us, and especially for me, what's happening in the education space. We hear a lot about the internet, information, money, but I'm kind of curious about how is blockchain changing education as we speak. So that's why you guys are here. You guys are my experts. So anyways, let's get this thing started. I would love for each and every one of you to share who you are and how you guys and also share your origin story in the Web3 space. So let me start with Miriam, and then second Chante, Jules, and finally Alan. So Miriam, please take it away.
Hi, everyone. I am Miriam Olaverdian. I'm a senior at Yale University. The way I got involved with blockchain was, I think, similar to many people. I invested in cryptocurrencies. For me, it was back in 2020, in the beginning of 2020. And then afterwards, I decided to do further research. What are cryptocurrencies? What is behind it? So that's how I got into blockchain. That's how I got into the space. As if like a little bit about me, I'm the president of the Yale Blockchain Club, and I'm a senior majoring in mathematics.
Nice, awesome. Thank you, Miriam. Thank you for sharing your story. Chante, please take it away. Tell us your origin story into the Web3 space.
So I started in the Web3 space about 2015. At that point, I was dating a guy in the cryptocurrency industry, and he gave me a bunch of Bitcoin. And I dumped him and I gave it all back. And then all my friends told me I was stupid because crypto was going to be worth a lot one day. So I decided to look into it, and they told me about all these ICOs they were doing, and they sounded a bit illegal to me. And apparently there were no laws in this space. So I thought I'd go to law school and figure out what was up with all these ICOs and was crypto legal? What were the laws around it? So I created the world's first blockchain law club at Berkeley, Blockchain at Berkeley Law. And while at Blockchain at Berkeley Law, we helped create a lot of the legal structure around the blockchain law space.
Wow, Chante, thank you for sharing your story. Yours really blew us. Personally, for me, that kind of blew me away. So that's pretty cool about the Bitcoin thing. So, but hey, Jules, take it away. Can you top up Chante's incredible story?
Yeah. Maybe not as bright as yours, but we just opened a new low blockchain club in our Kryptosphere association, which is an umbrella association with a lot of branches in France in 24 different schools in engineering, business, and universities. So I'm talking about that because I was onboarded thanks to that. I was looking at reading a lot of words that I didn't understand, and then I wanted to know more about that. So I checked in my school, and there were absolutely no group of people interested by this kind of subject to discuss and to learn together. So I tried to go a bit on internet and found an internship talking about that, and then several other clubs in France doing that. So I joined them, and what was really interesting me is what we can do with new hypotheses. Like if there were no intermediaries, what could change in our world? And that's at the beginning the tech thing that interested me a lot. So now I'm still working on my blockchain club at Lyon, and working also on enabling DAO to DAO M&A operation on a startup project.
Hey, awesome. Hey, Jules. Hey, thank you so much for sharing your story. And hey, finally, hey, Alan, please take it away. Your story into the Web3 space, sir.
Hey, my name's Alan. I'm actually the CEO of a company called Secure3. I entered into a Web3 space in 2018. I was following. I actually graduated from Yale. I graduated from Yale. I was following a Yale professor, CS professor, doing a security-related blockchain company, and that's the time that I entered the space and I learned a lot about the technology and also the business model in the space. And in this year, I started a new company called Secure3. We are actually a competitive auditing platform. So basically, we organize smart contract auditing competition for engineers and for students in the community. Our competition often comes with monetary and non-monetary rewards. Our goal is actually to help the community to understand the security of smart contract development, and also help the engineers there to develop new contracts and there to innovate in the space. Because I don't know if you guys are familiar with the the news. I think I read an article said that they summarized that since the beginning of this year, $2 billion has been lost in crypto space due to security issue. So this is a very hot area that we really want people to aware that there are ways to help the entire community move forward, and also share the educational material and content to the entire community to help the development. Yeah, that's basically what we're doing.
Oh, that's awesome, Alan. Hey, no, thank you so much. That's interesting to learn about what you're working on. So yeah, I'm sure that's must be quite an exciting space, especially in the blockchain with regards to smart contracts and security.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, yeah. All right. So yeah, hey, Miriam, as you're the lead, the head honcho of the Yale Blockchain Club, say for example, a random person, someone who's new to Yale, or say like me, hey, I want to join the Yale Blockchain Club. How would you pitch me to join your illustrious club?
Yeah, of course. I think the most important thing is students do not have to know what blockchain is, and we had a lot of students approaching us saying we don't even know what that is. We have the blockchain 101 course, which helps them to get a general understanding of Web3, blockchain, NFTs, crypto, all the basics covered. So that's, I think, one important thing about the club. Then we have student-led projects. So we allow our students to pitch their own projects, and if we see potential in their project, and honestly, there's no reason why we wouldn't, we help them, we support them to bring their project to life. So one of the projects that we currently have is led by one of our board members. It's Fashion in the Metaverse, right? So we help them to find students who'd be interested to join their team, build the project, and then we also connect them with VCs or investors who'd be interested to help them out. So that's another thing. We also have guest speakers. Like tonight, we're gonna host Binance at Yale campus. They're gonna come and talk to our students. I know, they're gonna talk to our students about DeFi, intro to DeFi and BNB chain. And then we have a blog where our students post about anything Web3 related. And obviously we have opportunities newsletters. We have, aside the blockchain 101, we had a huge request from other students who do have the technical background to have something more advanced. So now we're planning to have maybe like a coding bootcamp or a Solidity bootcamp provided to our students. So those are few of the things that we're doing right now. And then we are planning to have a conference in spring semester. That's still in the plans, but that's how I would pitch Yale blockchain to a student who just approaches me and asks me what blockchain is.
Oh, sweet. Hey, Miriam, thank you so much. That's pretty insightful. I'm kind of tempted, but let me check with Chante and see if she can, try to convince me to join this club. But if I understand correctly, Chante, aren't you also part of the Yale blockchain club, or is it a different club?
So I work with Berkeley Law's blockchain club.
Sorry, my bad.
Berkeley Law. So we're a law school blockchain club, and we focus more on the legal issues in the space. Okay. So back when I started the club, we created a course for crypto and blockchain for judges and practicing attorneys, so they could better understand the space when deciding laws. Deciding how to interpret laws involving cryptocurrencies. We wrote a legal textbook for practicing lawyers. We testified for Congress in California and different states and federally, so that they could help understand what cryptocurrency was when they were making regulations. We created nonprofits meant for furthering education in the space for women. And we wrote like legal opinion letters and research on legal issues in the blockchain space, and created courses at Berkeley Law that still exist today.
Hey, that's awesome. First of all, Chante, I apologize for saying Yale. Just figured out it was Berkeley, so my bad. There's all these notes I got going on my screen. So no, but that's interesting. You said you guys have presented in front of Congress. Is that right?
Yeah, so some
What?
of our members have presented in front of Congress. Some of them more so in like the California state legislators and legislators in different states, because most of
Gotcha.
these laws have been right now been coordinated in like state law for now.
Gotcha. Right.
Congress has been quite slow, as we could all imagine.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's great.
I
Okay.
personally worked for the SEC, so I helped the SEC on their cryptocurrency regulations, and they've been a little bit quicker than the rest of Congress.
Oh wow, no, that's cool. Thank you for sharing that insight. Really do appreciate it. Hey, Jules, could you pitch what Kryptosphere is all about?
Yes, so there is two levels of Kryptosphere. First, at a local level at your university, as like Yale or Berkeley, where there is an association, like with 25 people each, where it's the best way to gather all students together to work on project, make events, like local events. We organize hackathons, for example, with Ledger and others last year, but also doing some different tasks. That's at the local spot, but we're also mainly working at a national scale, gathering like the 25 student association with more than 600 active people, working on big scale events. For example, a day during Paris Blockchain Week Summit, gathering more than 300 people, making seminar for all students in France, and making like some most experienced people work with more novice guys and making them in touch with most famous people in the ecosystem, and but all the knowledge and share them as easily as possible to everyone. And the second mission is to onboard as possible as many schools to help newcomers to easy in like in 2 or 3 weeks create a blockchain club in their schools. So that's the mission of Kryptosphere, to educate, to help, and to catalyze the ecosystem at the local and national scale.
Oh, sweet, Jules. No, that's pretty cool. I just had a quick question. What's the I'm kind of curious about, what's the interest level of, the French students? Are they really excited about blockchain, or is it still kind of like nascent, it's kind of new, it's kind of mysterious?
No, they're kind willing to know more, because we were like 10 schools 2 years ago, and in more than 1 year we have got a massive onboarding of new schools, and in every single school we have some people wanted to join the network, and like so last year was really impressive. We onboarded 10 more schools in so quickly.
Okay, no, that's awesome. Yeah, that's great to hear. Really, really. I mean, hey, the best is yet to come for you guys. Alan, could you kind of share or maybe pitch what Secure 3 is all about?
Yeah, great. So basically, Security's goal is actually we want to have everyone in the community to be able to participate in to learn security about small contract development through competition. So you compete. So because I'm an engineer, I think the best way to learn is actually by doing it. So we want to eventually want every student who comes to the industry like as a new person, or you come with pretty experienced, they can work together on our platform to compete with each other to earn rewards. So to actually incentivize them to continuing participating in this way, we want people to aware how to write more secure small contracts. That's the first thing. The second thing is they are there to innovate and build new type of small contract, because right now in this space, people are afraid of building new type of small contract because they're afraid that new type of small contract can have certain security issue. This comes from a certain different reasons. First one being security auditing. For example, if you find certain security company to do the security check for you, that service typically is very, very expensive. We want to actually reduce the cost of that. So that's one thing. The second thing is we want to end the knowledge monopoly. We want that we want to democratize this all knowledge about how to write a secure smart contract, how to have the best practice for developing secure smart contracts. So this is basically what we're doing. By doing competition, we will definitely have rewards, monetary rewards, and the non-monetary rewards. We hope this can keep stimulating the student and the new developers to come into the space and learn how to write secure smart contracts. Yes, that's basically what we do.
No, hey, Alan, that is really cool. Hey, first of all, hey, thank you for your service. I am familiar with quite a number of what do you say, smart contract auditing companies. So it is it is sort of like a little oligarchy. I think I can name some like what Zokyo, Certic, Hackin, maybe Quill Hash. I think that's about it, really. Those are kind of like major players, right? But
Yes.
but I mean, sorry, I apologize. It might be a dumb question, but do you think it is possible to lower the cost of, I guess, smart contract audits? Or is that?
Yeah, the way how I think about it is always about demand and supply issue, because there's a huge demand in the market, but there isn't enough supply. To have a more supply is to have more engineers come into the space and to have more students come into the space. Because right now we are seeing people on our platform, there are a lot of new students specialized, like they learn information security at school. They're coming, they're learning, they're all like coming into this space because there's so many money in this space right now. People get very good salary and also get very good investment because people are investing on this type of infrastructure. So the way how we think about it is we want to give a lot more people to, before they commit to be like a full-time security engineer or security auditor, they have a way to, like, without making any full-time commitment, they can explore how to do smart contract auditing and how, but in a way that they need to compete with each other, because the best way is actually learn from more experienced people. So this is how we're doing it. And hopefully, if we can produce more expert in the industry, then we'll have more supply, and then we can gradually drive down the price for security auditing. So this is our goal.
Oh, nice. Hey, that's an ambitious goal. Definitely. I'm sure we all are rooting for you. I know a lot of people I know in the crypto space would love for you to help, drive down those costs, because I know it is expensive. It's a lot of work. So, but anyways,
exactly.
let's start. I got a question for you guys. The question is, as you guys know that it is the bear market, the question is, what is the role of universities and how they can play in the crypto and blockchain industry? So let me see. Let me ask Chante, would you like to answer that question?
I think for legally, one of the biggest good times during a bear market is building things. There has been an increased attention and regulation lately, and I still think that law schools are primed for being the ones to teach different members and practicing attorneys, judges, and lawyers still how they should move forward in the space. Law school is a great time to do legal education and a great time to do legal research in order to figure out how we should move next. Regulators aren't really always focused on 5 steps ahead. They're more so interested in what's going on now. And I think law school is a really good time to help point those things out so that when they do come into play, you already have all these legal research already done in that area and can be primed to move forward.
Oh, that's cool, Chante. Yeah. No, actually, I'm kind of curious about, I guess, the legal space, because I'm under the assumption. I mean, tell me if I'm right or wrong. Like, there are not many lawyers or, I guess, general counsels in the blockchain space. Is that correct?
Not at all. I mean, it's hard to find, and the ones that are there, they just don't have very much experience.
Gotcha.
it's very few and far between that you find one that's been in the space for a while, mostly because it's such a new space and the legal issues are so new, but also because it's not an easy technology to learn that quickly, as well as learning the law.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah, definitely. But I mean, just one more question. Outside of blockchain, like say, for example, like AI or any other technology relevant space, um, I guess is the legal industry at par, or are they kind of like lagging behind?
You know, I think the legal industry lags behind most new technologies. I just think that all the other technologies haven't grown necessarily as fast as blockchain has, especially in more recent years. The AI industry has taken its time and predictably slow. But with blockchain, so much money has been poured in it, especially in the last few years, that the legal industry has had to grow at the same rate, and it just has been having a hard time doing so.
Interesting. Hey, Chante, thank you for your insight. Really appreciate it. But anyway, hey, Miriam, question for you. As you know, we are in the bear market, and so what do you think is the role of universities can do in our blossoming industry?
Yeah, I'd say the most important thing is educate, offer classes for the students that they can take at school and learn more about blockchain, from introductory to PhD level courses. That's something that this year Yale had undergraduate and also graduate. They did have graduate courses in blockchain before, but this year they also had courses for undergraduates as well. So I say like educate, and also the role of the student organizations themselves is encourage students to build projects, as that was mentioned before, and also students should be doing their own research at their own time as well. I don't have any financial advice during the bear market, but definitely like education is the most important part of it.
All terminals are smoke-free.
Awesome. All right. Cool. Now I can hear the airport. What do you say? What do you call the speaker thing? But interesting. But I was kind of curious about like where. No, I think you're from San Francisco, or is it Connecticut? Oh, sorry, you're. So I was just asking. So, with Yale, are a lot of students, are they interested in blockchain? Do they have curiosity?
Yeah, there is a huge interest. So actually, the Yale Blockchain Club we started last semester. Our founders who have already graduated, they just decided one day in January that Yale needs one, and then they spread an email. And then from there, last year we had about 600 members, like 550 to 600 members signed up for our mailing list, because this is a organization open both to undergraduates and graduate students. And that kind of number was raised within a couple of weeks of just one email being sent out. If you're interested, sign up. And we see also a couple of hundred people signing up this year as well, from freshmen to PhD students, PhD in physics. We have a lot of students from the Graduate School of Architecture, huge interest in the metaverse as well. So there is a huge interest from the students, and students who have heard blockchain only once before, and students who have already had projects. Some students are like, yeah, I already have like my company. So yeah.
Wow, not bad. Not bad in a bear market. Not bad at all. Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. Nice. Yeah. Hey, Jules, would love for you to share some insights with regards to university's role in the bear market.
In fact, during the bear market, it doesn't affect that much what we feel inside the university. Even like we kind of have different profile that join us. For example, people that randomly discovered blockchain through one internship of 1 hour of cycle that came and say, oh, I was doing my internship and they were talking about blockchain. I discovered that. I want to know more, and I know that there is a network, so I want to join. And that's kind of pulling everybody up, because we've got more advanced people in their career coming and saying, I have all the knowledge and I want to apply that. Maybe remaking a wide, really useful application to blockchain case. Like the main thing that we kind of hear here at school is how to make a one utilization of blockchain that can be really useful to everybody. Like the tech takes all and less the investment speculative stuff.
Oh, nice. Hey, Jules. Hey, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Hey, Alan, what do you think? Share your thoughts on the question in regards to university's role in the blockchain space.
You mean in the bear market?
Yes, yeah, in the bear market, right?
Yeah, so for the bear market, what I'm seeing in the industry is like people are more focused on infrastructure building. So this, I think, is actually a very good thing. There are more money coming to infrastructure building, like legislation as well, and also as well as education. We're seeing more resources are putting into this rather than application during the bear market. Because right now, I think there are a lot of investors they have exit during the very good market time. They have the resources to build a better educational content, legislation system, as well as the infrastructure, tech infrastructure for the next wave of application. So basically, from what I'm seeing is a lot of people are making the underlying infrastructure better, so that when the market comes, we can have a lot more variety of the apps coming. So this is what I'm seeing in the market, what people are doing right now.
That's awesome, Alan. Hey, thank you so much. Great insight. I love it. All right. Let me see. The next question. This is regards to, I guess, reaching the masses. I would say, in your opinion, what do you think is missing today for mass adoption? Is it education, or is it better technology, or is it like more financial resources? So, Alan, I would love for you to maybe start and answer this question.
Yeah, from my perspective, I will be focusing more on the security side, development security side of things. So from what I see is because right now there are so many hack events happening, and it's really a pain because often for a project, if it was hacked, it's like a disaster to the team, and it often can kill a project like very fast. So this is some type of things that make the developers and also the projects they're very cautious on innovation. So I think from my perspective on my industry in my niche market, I feel like we probably need more security infrastructure and knowledge and more people to help on developers to ensure the security of a smart contract. Because right now, as I have mentioned, the smart contract auditing is actually a very good way to help team developers to have more confidence in their contracts on the deployment. But right now, the service is often supply constraint, is very expensive. It has a very long wait queue. There's some of the very good auditors in the industry. You often have like 8 to 9 months of a wait time for you to have an auditing service. So this is actually blocking many of the projects to go live in time. So I think from my perspective is I really want to democratize and improve the auditing throughput for the entire community, so that this doesn't become a bottleneck for the project to go live, and as well as we want people to have more confidence on innovating rather than just using old code so that it's more secure. We want people to dare to like write new types of protocols, to implement new types of features, to innovate, so that we'll have more variety of the apps. So this is for me on my side. I think one of the blockers for even richer, even greater reach
Adoption.
for even greater adoption. Yes.
Awesome. Okay, thank you, Alan. Appreciate that. Hey, Jules, please share what do you think is missing in terms of mass adoption for crypto and blockchain?
Yeah, like first measuring mass adoption. What does it mean? Like when someone is onboarded to the Web3 ecosystem, it's generally meaning like having a wallet and money on their wallet. So what can push everybody to have a wallet and use it? We have seen like few major stuff like NFTs, gaming, and DeFi. I mostly believe also in DAO, but like DeFi is a new useful stuff that we didn't have before, like exposing us to new markets with low amounts. So that was a really interesting use case of cryptocurrencies. And what was blocking that is that now there is a lot of law regulation to make these new financial items available to a large public. And because there is no more additional stuff interesting in the market, there is no more adoption. There is less adoption. Like we can have a good cycle, beneficial cycle of adoption if the legal system adapts to the innovation.
Interesting. All right, cool. Hey, no, thank you, Joel. Really appreciate that. Mariam, please go ahead. What do you think is missing with regards to adoption in the Web3 space?
I'd say one thing that had been missing before was definitely lack of classes offered at universities, but we do see recently a lot of colleges and universities offering courses for the students as well. I'd say this shouldn't only apply to universities necessarily. I think there should be also access to education for high school students, career fairs as well, because a lot of high school students don't have access to the education. Well, within Yale Blockchain Club, we're trying to have career fairs or just like intro to blockchain lecture, because that's when the high school student decides what they want to do in college. But if they have no prior exposure to blockchain, it will be difficult for them to choose a new career pathway. So I'd say there's still lack of reaching to younger generation, and that should be done in order to achieve masses.
Okay, interesting. Thank you, Mariam. Appreciate that. Chante, please go ahead. What's your take with regards to what's missing in creating this mass adoption that we all aim for? Oh, your mic is off.
Okay, so I think there's a couple things, but to Jules's point, I also think the legal side of things has been holding things back. For example, a lot of companies are reluctant to go into blockchain because they want to remain legally compliant, yet those laws aren't exactly clear right now. The SEC has still, even though we have the Howey test and it's been around for about 100 years, the SEC still hasn't expanded on that and provided better guidance for those who are looking to do token offerings and whether or not their tokens are securities or not. It's still a game of analysis that we have to play. In terms of other kinds of crypto companies, there's not a lot of legal clarity around DAOs or around DeFi. And as we've seen, more and more people have run into CeFi companies that have now all historically been failing. So I think the legal clarity would actually be a great thing in order to create a more legally compliant industry, bring more actors into the space, and then give consumers more confidence that the investments and the projects they do work with or have coins of are going to be successful in the future, or they would have like a legal fallback in case they don't.
Awesome. Hey, thank you, Chante. Appreciate it. Just for the XT.com family, could you just tell us what's the Howey test? What it is exactly? I mean, just in a very simplified way, if you can.
So the U.S. Supreme Court decided this case, and this case was about orange groves. And originally, this case was meant to decide if something was a security or not under the federal test. So we use this test a lot to analyze whether a cryptocurrency or ICO is in fact a security or is anything else like a commodity or a currency, etc.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Chante. Appreciate that. That's something. That's something we're trying to learn every day. Awesome. All right. And all right, this is an entrepreneurial question for each and every one of you. So I'll start with you, Chante. Let's say you are entering this Wild West crypto world that we're in, and you're not working in the legal industry, right? Which vertical or a niche, or I would say which problem would you be working on?
I think proof of stake has been a big issue, especially after the merge. I think that after the merge and with proof of stake right now, Ethereum has become more centralized, and building a more decentralized system on a proof of stake network has become extremely complicated. Um, I think that on top of that, a lot of gaining. A lot of the power in a proof of stake network goes to those who are actually voting on chain. And it seems like more and more people aren't very technologically literate. So we can't get true decentralization without making a lot more people either technologically literate or creating a pathway for them to be. So hopefully, if we can fix that issue right there, we can therefore make Ethereum and other proof of stake networks more decentralized.
Interesting. Thank you for sharing that, Miriam. So could you tell us, like, if you're going to enter the crypto world, which vertical or what problem you would love to solve, or you love to work on, actually?
That's a really good question, and I've been thinking about this for a while. I'd say one thing that I'd want to gain more knowledge, more deeper knowledge than I do have now, and work in that specific sector within blockchain would probably be decentralized finance, because I've always had interest in finance, and I think that would be the most reasonable one at the moment for me.
All right. Nicely done. I like DeFi. Hey, Jules, please go ahead. If you're on the crypto world, well,
Yeah,
what vertical,
definitely.
what niche?
So, like clearly, I'm launching my startup on the DAO ecosystem, and how to enable DAO operation, DAO deals, like DAO to DAO mergers, or how a DAO can acquire another one, and more clearly how to make a flat organization more convenient to make decisions on a quantitative price, for example. So to decide how together we can value the protocol and sell it to someone else. So that's something that I think in the DAO world is a really missing point, because we need all the investment banking steps for DAO, for smart companies, for upgraded companies with a new kind of structure to go further and to reduce cost of making a business and facilitate it.
Awesome. Hey, thank you, Jules. That's pretty cool. Definitely, the DAOs has been quite interesting, even from a legal side too. Like, because I think maybe Chante, correct me if I'm wrong. In terms of DAO, I believe the state of Wyoming, they have a special law for DAOs, right? Is that correct? They're considered as an LLC.
That's correct. There are a lot of states that actually have something like that being worked into their state charters, but a lot of things about DAOs are still unclear, especially on a federal level.
Interesting. Wow. Okay. No, but no, definitely, I definitely love the idea of what Jules is working on with DAOs. I think they definitely see an incredible future. So I know a lot of people are coming up with some pretty interesting stuff. So hey, Alan, I know you're already in the crypto space, but let's take, for example, so let's say you're not into smart contracts. If there's any other vertical or any other niche, or do you sense there's a much bigger problem to deal with? Which would it be?
Yeah, this is an excellent question, because I was actually making the decision at the end of last year when I was thinking about, okay, because I was thinking about starting a company, what I should do. So I think there are a couple of things that I thought about. The first one, because I come from an engineering background, so my thoughts may be a little bit limited. So for example, I thought about things like how how to have better tools to help general audience or teams to navigate blockchain data. These are terms, for example, the DeFi related data or NFT related data. These are the things that I've thought about before, like how to build a more better, more efficient data query or data visualization tools for the people. So this is one area that I've looked at before. The second one is actually, for example, the DAO infrastructure. For example, we're seeing more and more popularity about DAOs and how to manage DAO like how to provide good tools to for DAO communication and DAO management. This has also been an area that I have explored. And also, I've also thought about building because it's very engineering mindset, my engineering mindset. So basically, what kind of development tools that I can build to help to improve the efficiency of smart contract development and testing and things. These are the things that I have explored before, and I've chose to do more security related, but also I think it's very correlated to education and also development. So these are things that I find because it's also have a easier and more clear business model. So this is how eventually I chose to do security auditing as a entry point. But I think moving forward, I definitely think like we are going to have more data on the chain, but these are different types of data. How do we navigate all this data is actually a pretty tricky thing. I feel this could be a very good area. I know there are like unicorn in this area already, and but still, like this is something new. This is public data. Like maybe we have more opportunities in this as well.
Interesting. No, definitely for sure. I think to summarize what you're saying, Alan, is data is the new oil, right? So, yeah, agreed. Totally agree with you. So, anyways, I'll tell you what, guys. Hey, we are hitting up the last spot. It's the live Q&A session. So let me just swim through all these emojis and questions. So let me find some good questions for you guys. I think some people have. All right, okay. Let's see. All right, let me just put it right here. All right, Chante, I would love for you to answer this question from Shiraz Muhammad. What is the biggest challenge in crypto education?
I'm not going to speak to this generally. I'm going to speak to this more specifically to the law.
Gotcha.
But more specifically to that, it's giving people more of a technological background on everything who historically weren't very technological. So a lot of lawyers didn't really come into law school loving math or loving technology necessarily. And getting them all abreast to all of the technological background and why that's important when addressing all of the legal challenges has been very challenging in crypto education wise. A lot of these textbooks not only have to handle legal issues of the technology, but also what the technology is and how it works to truly understand how the legal issues affect it.
Interesting. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Jules, I think I have a question for you, sir. Is blockchain popular in universities?
Yes, it is, but like it is people know that now. They arrive at school at the beginning of the school knowing the word and what it is, but they are quite afraid to use it as a technological instrument for their company or where they're employed. They see like still something mysterious and have some doubt about how it is, and the security thing is something that is frightening a lot of people, seeing like a risk that everything could be hacked, and that's not a tangible thing to work on. So that's something that we're trying to do, to work on, to educate on, saying to make everybody their own research to see that what can be done, what can't. see that most of the things are fears that are not real.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Thank you, Jules. Appreciate that. And Mr. Allen, we got a question for you, sir. What was your motive behind making your project Secure 3?
That's a good one. So I do see this is how I pitched my investor actually. So I do see two issues in the industry. First one being security auditing being supply constraint. The second being it is actually expensive. So it's actually the same issue. So what I'm thinking is I do want to change the narrative on this service. I want to make sure that there are more people can help, because there was a statistics like people who can audit code, in all the small contract for clients right now. I think the number of people are around thousands, but there are a lot more developers in Web3 space. I think the developer in Web3 space is around 100,000. Is around a couple, like around 10,000 to 100,000. But they're actually globally, for like including Web2 developers, they're like, I think according to Google's estimate, we have 20 to 60 million. Is 20 to 6 million like developers in general.
Okay.
I think these people are very good sources to enter into the space to help the development to be more easier, and to help on the smart contract auditing. They just need an easy way to get in. So I'm trying to
Gotcha.
provide an easy way to have more manpower and more intelligence to come into the industry and change it together with us. So this is my motive on building my project.
Nice. Hey, no, thank you for sharing that. I really do appreciate that. Definitely the crowd loves it. Chante, I got a question for you. Should we bring more university students into blockchain? Is it a popular major?
I'm a little biased, but I'm going to say definitely. I'm sure some of my colleagues here can speak better to it, but I think it is actually, there's a lot of interest in this space. I can speak to years ago when my club was in the New York Times. We had thousands of messages that week about how we could get more involved in the blockchain space and how their schools themselves can get more into it. And I know that my colleagues here have done a lot of more development throughout the last few years in order to get more students into the space, but I still see it as growing. Every single day I'm at a conference, there's someone new to the space hoping to get in.
Nice. Yeah. True. And actually, I have a question for Miriam, but I think it might take some time. But I thought, let me just throw this question out here. So why do you think crypto education should be globally implemented? Anyone, any takers? Anyone wants to, like give it a shot? Jules, maybe?
Yeah, why not? Like saying that if we want to be able to use the ecosystem really efficiently, we need to be aware of the risk, because first thing is having a wallet. If you have a wallet, you have keys. If you are not aware of the possibility to lose keys, you cannot be using securely or having a very beneficial use case of crypto or crypto world. So yeah, crypto education is really needed to make everybody their own research and help them to see if they want to go further on discovering new possibilities that are coming, or if they want to keep their habits.
Awesome, Jules. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it. I got another question. Let's see. What is the biggest challenge in crypto education?
If I may, I wanted to also add something like
sure.
we're always saying that we can put a major in blockchain, but let's likely think about keeping the same degree and adding really specialized blockchain use case to it, like in finance, adding a decentralized finance use case to compare for specialized students in finance the use case of DeFi, on even, for example, in for lawyers, maybe Chante, like that's maybe more something that you are doing in legal stuff, like having something apply only to, for example, NFTs, to see what is inside and what is not. So maybe not making a blockchain major only, like making really little specialization in each courses.
Awesome. Okay. How about you, Shante? Would you like to share your thoughts on this?
I think Jules got it right on the head. I mean, I think a blockchain major would be really helpful. I understand that blockchain right now is very interdisciplinary. It's not just about the technology behind everything, but also now there's blockchain marketing and like understanding game theory for community involvement and like, it's creating a more sociology wise, creating a more friendly environment in DAOs for women to be more likely to vote on chain, because right now a lot of the voting in DAOs has been done by men. So there are a lot of aspects of blockchain now that it's growing that I feel like go into other studies, and creating a major, as Jules has said, it would be really interesting because we could look at it from a more interdisciplinary viewpoint.
Interesting. All right, cool. No, thank you. Thank you, Shante. I appreciate it. And last but not least, oh, no, I think got that. I think we are almost coming to an end. So let me ask you, let me end this off with a question with each and every one of you. So I'll start with Alan. Alan, I know you have, pitched to different VCs, and I'm sure you have, maybe gave some speeches at, like these AMAs and many other people. What questions would you want your audience or the xt.com audience to ask you? What question would you want them to ask you?
Wow, this is an interesting one. I guess it's how to. I really so the way how I think about it is I really want more people to come into the space, and I know at the beginning is always a very big challenge because you don't know how to get started. That has always been the blocker. You don't know how to get it started. You don't know like who can lead you. So I think for the blockchain is actually a pretty new thing. There are so many new things evolving around it. That's why, like for example, it's very hard to provide up-to-date blockchain education, and it's also very hard to come up with education like classes or majors, because those type of things often requires long time to consolidate and actually provide a very systematic content. But the blockchain right now, there's so many new things. People are like going through all different directions. So what I really think people can ask me is how can we get started on for example, smart contract development and smart contract security. So this is how I'm thinking, because every time you comes to smart contract development, you have to prioritize security, because when you code, you're actually manipulating people's asset. If you don't be careful, you will lose your money, because this is very different. Because I'm an engineer, so if you write your code at Facebook, at Google, because I also work at Facebook before. If you write coding at Facebook, you are manipulating, for example, the image or some comments. That those data are sensitive. But however, even if you messed up something, it's not a disaster. But when you're manipulating people's asset, you need to be very careful. We want, like for example, for anyone, you ask me like how can we write more? How can I write more different types of smart contract? I will say, okay,
right,
come onto our platform, learn with the experts, compete with the experts, and try to practice yourself to be a good developer before you write some code and mess up your real asset. So this is how I'm thinking. Practice our platform first, and then like go to the wild world and to explore. Yeah.
Awesome, Alan. Hey, no, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Jules, what questions would you want, the general public, your colleagues, people like me, what questions you want them to ask you?
Hmm. Difficult question. But the main question is how would I use blockchain for my case?
Okay.
Like in my company, in my everyday life, I have this saying that maybe your stuff that I do not understand very well can apply. How would I do that? Like that's the main question to say to source the opportunity to improvement first, and then call more there is people that are aware to see what can be done to really improve the stuff and if there is a real possibility.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, Jill. Chante, let me ask you this question. I'm sure you get a lot of questions, but the main question is, what questions you want people to ask you that brightens you up and get you to get you excited. Like, is there like a particular subject or?
So I know that blockchain's been a great industry of trying to get more of a diverse kind of group of people in the space, but I would definitely welcome any questions about that, how to get more diverse people into the space, especially women and minorities. There just hasn't been very many. And, when we're creating any new technology, I think it's really important to create it with a diverse background so that we can make sure it's accessible to people from all over the world. So that would definitely be something I'd be really interested in.
Awesome. Okay, that's a great question to get how to get more people of different backgrounds to get into this fast-growing industry. That's a great question to ask. But I just have one question for you, Chante. I know because you're in the legal space. I was kind of curious to ask you, like, have you ever looked into, say, like privacy and compliance? Is that something of interest to you?
Oh, of course. So we had a lot of issues with Tornado Cash and figuring out if the government could actually make those kinds of restrictions on people or those wallets more particularly. So Tornado Cash was a big issue. And I think that we're just kind of, the government took a step back from it too, because we don't know if they actually have the authority to kind of just straight up say that a whole protocol or a piece of code is just illegal to interact with.
Right.
And so that one in terms of privacy was a really big deal. I think other kinds of privacy tokens, especially ones like Monero, where you can't really audit it, will become more and more ever present in the legal decision making because governments like to control things, right?
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Privacy is kind of antithetical to that.
Yeah.
So I think there'll have to be not just legal, but more technological solutions for us to have that privacy, but at the same time be compliant with regulations and make sure that this money isn't going to fund some terrorist regime around the world.
True. No, agree. Those are. Thanks for sharing that. I think that's something not just for us, but just for the the XC.com community and the public at large. Like how we can balance privacy and compliance. And I think, Alan, I'm sure you're aware of zero knowledge proof and homomorphic encryption. I think it's going to be interesting to see how this technology is going to play. I think there's a race between technology and how do you say politics or government. I don't know. It's quite an interesting world we live in, guys. It's all I can say is just I'm just going to sit back and just watch and hope for the best. What do you guys think?
Yeah, the way how I think about it is like just let people build and try different things first. And if it comes with too much damage, I think there will always people come and clean up for us. I don't know if that's a good idea, but I think there's so many people, like even for example, when you're thinking about exploring outer space, there are always first battery people that they blow up. I don't know if they have blow up building people, but like they blow up something to make a rocket. Like eventually people will go to moon, but at the beginning, like when we're thinking about it, give people the freedom to to try different new things, and sooner or later, like people are going to create something that is going to be very impactful and very good for the general audience. So that's how I think about what people should do when there are so many like uncertainties.
No, thank you, Alan. Thanks for sharing that. I do appreciate it. That's what I'm glad you brought up the tornado cash thing, because that's just purely protocol, and how do like the smart contract auditors and guys who are writing the code, right? How would they be affected by it? I mean, that's quite interesting. It kind of shocked some of my friends in the privacy space and like the payment side. So it's interesting to see how it goes. But you know what? We are coming to an end. So I would like to end this AMA to get maybe like a few words of wisdom from each and every one of you. So Chante, any words of wisdom for our XT.com community?
Little bias here, but speak to a lawyer before you're coming out with your next revolutionary crypto project. It might do you favors in the future. Even Kim Kardashian's getting sued by the SEC right now. So
right. Oh my goodness, man, that's rough. That's rough. You heard it, folks. If you guys got any projects, Chante is here. Don't worry, we'll leave the links in the description below. So just remember that, hey, XT.com, wink, sent you. So. But yeah, hey Chante, thank you for that words of wisdom. Really do appreciate that. Jules, any words of wisdom for our XT.com community and the public at large?
Yeah, like really read on what you're investing and make your own research on the tokenomics mainly.
All right, DYOR. Do your own research, right?
Sorry?
DYOR?
Definitely.
Okay, awesome. All right, thank you, Jules. Yeah, thank you, appreciate it. And finally, Mr. Allen, any words of wisdom for us out here?
So for me, I will come more like a developer's perspective. So
sure.
Definitely try different things with the technology. Try to build the cool tech. But when you are establishing business, definitely follow Chante's advice. Like, try to do it
there
legally.
You go.
Yeah, try to do it legally and to comply with regulations. But experiment with the tech is fascinating.
Awesome, man. No, thank you, Alan. Hey, thank you guys for coming, for joining us here at the XT.com's 4th anniversary. Thank you guys for sharing your wisdom, your insights, and also celebrating with us. So, that's about it for folks. So we'll definitely share your links below, your project, and maybe a LinkedIn profile and stuff. So people can reach out for your expertise. But anyways, we gotta go. We got big things to do. Our guests are doing some amazing stuff out there. So y'all be good. Y'all be safe. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. And thank you guys.